Okay, everybody relaxed? Okay. So we start with our next session, which is mine. And yeah, there's so many aspects, that we can touch that, but of course we can't touch everything in 1 hour. So I was wondering, what makes the flower die? Have you seen? Sorry? Neglect. Yes. What else? When can you instantly make the flower die? That's a question I'm asking. Anyone can answer, even online people can answer. How can you make the flower die instantly? Huh? Tamper it over, okay. Cut it off, right? Neglect. So have you seen, have you wondered that the moment we cut the flower off from the ground, it is dead. Now what happens when a human being dies? How does a human being die? What is cut off that we say now it's dead? So the consciousness leaves the body or spits the body out, another way of saying. And then we say it's dead. So we can see there is a little, and there are so many aspects of being us, the flowers and the other flowers, that we can say, okay, we are similar in so many aspects. But I was wondering that this is where we differ as a human being. Just wonder about it, that a flower's roots are rooted in the earth. Now, if a dead flower is lying, cut off from its roots, no matter how much amount of sun you may keep giving, water you may keep giving, nothing happening. And when does it happen with the human being? When the consciousness leaves, no matter how much shower of love or whatever you do, nothing happening. For us, the story is a little different. We have grown up from being a flower. Although still like a flower, we still have to blossom. But when do we blossom? A flower blossoms when it is provided with, as James was sharing, not neglect, right? You nurture the flower, you have water, you have sun, all the essential nutrients, love, feeling, right? And then it nurtures. You don't have to do anything. It's there in the gene, it nurtures itself. Now, all of this is given. How does a human being gets nurtured? You keep giving human being food, good food. We all have good food experience, no? Has it been enough? No, we all know that. So it means that there is something else essential to our being which is needed for us to flower. I can give myself the best of food, organic, made of love, actually, no? Made with my mother's love or whoever is cooking, with my own love, friends' love. All of that you put into your food, you eat it. Yes, the body is nurtured, definitely. All the good feelings have gone in, yes, definitely. Is that enough? We know that it's not enough. Yes, yes, we must assimilate. So, along with the body food, just like a flower cannot be there in neglect, although there are flowers which are growing in wild and blossoming still, because they are abundantly receiving from everywhere, highly receptive. So what I was wondering, that along with the food that we need for our body, all the earth elements, fire, everything, the most essential for a human being is the consciousness aspect. the soul food. And I feel there will be a time coming, not so far in future, as mother has anyway given us, where the soul food is enough. And you would see when you feel most energized. All of us have those moments in our life, no, where your soul is fed fully. For each person it may be different connection that gives that abundance, but then you hardly need any food. Like, of course you will eat because it's lunchtime, but you don't really feel hungry. Have you felt that? There are times in our life where we feel so abundantly fed in our soul that we don't need that much the body food. So that's where we are heading. We have come from being animals, totally relying on food, survival and food, being safe, protected, being a plant, being a flower. And now we have to actually make this attempt to be so much connected to that abundant consciousness which the speakers before us were also talking of. And that is not a part-time process that we have to follow, that okay, you know 24 hours in a day, 1 hour you give this to this soul food, then our life will be accordingly. So it's totally dependent on our own aspiration. What do I want to do with my life? Do I want to live like an animal, eating 3 meals a day, sustaining the body? Yes, but then I can't see any divinity then there. So Sri Aurobindo says that we have to, from animal man, we have to become a divine man. We have to change our feed. I have observed myself that whenever I am more engaged in those practices within, where my consciousness is constantly being in connection with the divine in some way or the other, for each one it's different, I need less food. And yet I am full of energy. I don't feel drained even after constantly manual work also, and plus some other things that I may be doing. So this is a signal for us that we are like an upside down flower. So usually whenever we see a flower, it's like the roots are below and it's flowering, right? The flowers we have to become are like this. The roots are coming from above and you are flowering below. And when will that happen? When our constant touch and nourishment is from that consciousness above us and inside us and around us. But we have to make a constant effort, just like we make a constant effort for preparing our meals throughout the day. Okay, what do I have for breakfast? Okay, subah to ye khaya sa. Now, what do I have for lunch, right? We give so much attention. We try to get the best ingredients, okay, organic or, maybe from the freshest possible. We have to recognize that we are not the animal man. Or even if we are right now, we don't have to remain that forever. That's not our destiny. So roti, kapda, makan ke zamane nikal gaye. you know, we are living in such times where, at least to those of us who are sitting here, I can say definitely we have enough of food, actually more than enough. We have enough of clothes and we have enough of protection around us. Now what next? So I feel this is the task, and this task is not an extraordinary task. That's why the title today I took was Unassuming Flowering. Like, it's not a big deal, it's the next step in evolution. So first of all, to be very, very conscious that we are not making it a big deal, that I am more superior because I am walking the path. No, this is the basic next step that we have to walk. Once a sadhak asked, I think Mother or Sri Aurobindo, that I had a dream that we were all pebbles on the seashore, something like that. And Mother said, yes, it's true. We all have been pebbles. So we all have that stone consciousness in us, which feels lazy, dull. The moment we close our eyes, we go off to sleep. At times it happens, no? Inertia, tamas. So how long can we allow ourselves to be that stone consciousness? To be that animal consciousness which only knows how to feed, how to hunt, and how to reproduce. So what to do? The next question that comes is, how do we go ahead? If this is what we have to do, we have to come from above and flower below in the earth. And also there is no difference between, like, these are flowers we have with Mother and Sri Aurobindo. Can anyone tell whether this flower is coming from maybe Europe, or this flower is coming from Pondicherry? We can't tell, no? So it doesn't matter where we are. We can blossom wherever we are, on earth, not on earth, doesn't matter. But our roots have to be in the divine. Then the true blossoming can happen. Sri Aurobindo and Mother have suggested these practices for how to plunge your roots into the divine. Do you remember one line in Savitri where Sri Aurobindo says he drew his nourishment from the occult founts? Ashwapati's yoga. Anybody remembers? So when Ashwapati is progressing ahead, there is one state where it comes that he drew his sustenance from the occult founts. His sustenance is not there now on earth. He's as if he's sucking nourishment from above and doing the work here. For that, first and foremost, that we have to see in ourselves, in our lives, is how how much am I still tied to the earthly life? Tied in the sense, of course, we have to live on earth. Tied in the sense, how many promises are still holding for me on earth? Do I still feel earth can give me happiness? Relationships can give me happiness? Anything in earth is permanent? Do I still have that feeling? My desires are still attached to that or not? Why I'm asking this, that because we have to constantly ask this question, otherwise our concentration cannot be pure. Sri Aurobindo connects purity and concentration. So the more detached we become from the world, knowing that it cannot give you lasting anything, it cannot, the nature is not such. It's constantly shifting sands. A beautiful relationship is there, after some years, not there, changed. Your health, at times there, very good health, at times not there. What can you do? Life. Your business, your work, your mother, father, siblings, at times beautiful times together, right? And at times gone. So knowing the nature of impermanence in these earthly things, slowly, slowly, with our experiences, we become detached. There is no other way that we can go. Knowing that this world actually can't give me anything lasting in that sense that I want from it, like a beggar, right? So when we grow more in this experience, then your mind becomes a little purer, in the sense that when we concentrate within, the mind is not bombarded with thoughts of my earthly life, and I can plunge my roots where they need to be plunged. It's like I'm trying to maybe hammer a nail on the wall, And the moment I start hammering, somebody comes, then I go there. Somebody comes, then I go there. And all the moment I start hammering, some or the other distraction comes, and I'm not able to hammer it. For hammering, what is needed? You need the attention, the nail in your hand, and you need to constantly plunge, plunge, plunge in the wall. Now, I'm saying it in this way that we have to plunge. Actually, we are all already plunged, but we don't know that we are plunged. So what's the point? If I am full of treasure, but I don't know where the treasure is, I am still a beggar. So that's why the practices are given in integral yoga, which Sri Aurobindo talks about three things, three basic realizations in integral yoga. Psychicization, where we connect with the divine within, the psychic being within the body, and bring it forward, bring it to front, identify with it. That's what we were doing in some of the practices, where we go within, get in touch, and bring it forward. We'll talk about that in a little while. Second realization that we need to have, spiritualization, method of integral yoga, right? So not only present to the divine within, not only being conscious of the divine within, but to be conscious of the divine above, and to bring it down here in this manifestation. Not only get lost in this, but to bring it down, the descent. So first the ascent, and then the descent, calling that power down. And the last, Sri Aurobindo says, is supramentalization. So three basic siddhis or realizations of integral yoga, without which we can't actually truly call us human being. And apart from these three realizations, rest everything, whatever happens in our life, is actually just a means for these realizations. They are not primary, they are secondary. My children are secondary. That doesn't mean that I attend to them second. That means that my work, inner work, is most important, most important. Only then I can spread that out to my children. What can I give to my children if I'm not in the right consciousness? Nothing. All I will give is crap. I don't want to give crap to my children. So what do? I spend more and more time in psychicization, spiritualization, as much as I can, so that that is the influence that gets out. Like a flower. Flower is not saying to everybody, oh, see, I am fragrant. No, it is fragrant. It can't help it. It can't help it. So we have to become like that, that we can't help it. We are drawing our sustenance from above and from within, and we can't help being flowery or fragrant. You can't help. That is our blossoming, no? True blossoming. So from time to time throughout the day, don't waste your time. Time is so precious. It is this time which is going to help in psychicization, spiritualization, whatever our path ahead. We are not supposed to eat, drink, and make merry in our life. We are not born for that. And that's why that cannot give us satisfaction for long. Maybe there were times in my life that I was satisfied in that, but there comes a time in your life where you are not satisfied. All those things are there. Money is there, food is there, your relationships are around, but there is something within which is lacking. That is when you are being called forward to these experiences. So what we have to do is, when we were having these experiences, what James was taking us into, or Subhashri was there, she was taking us into, open your eyes during the experience, or when you have enough standing in that experience, open your eyes and bring that experience forward into this life. This is the integration of the experience. Because what happens, I have felt, when you are with closed eyes, beautiful, right? We really go very deep at times and we feel touched by very pure substance like love or something we can call it. And we feel, wow, this is what it should be. The moment we open our eyes, what happens? It scatters, it fades. And this is not how it should be. So I'm walking with open eyes, I'm sitting, and I'm extremely aware of the psychic in my heart and its influence coming out of my heart and filling my body and filling whatever is around me. So keep your eyes open. In between, whenever you are having these concentrations, meditations, try to, for example, you can, of course, for interiorizing, we can close our eyes. Then we have the touch of that depth. And then we slowly bring that depth as if that from deep within, that depth is coming out, that influence, that fragrance is coming out. And slowly you open your eyes. And that experience has to stay with as much intensity as possible with my open eyes. So right now we all have open eyes. I can see, I don't know about the online participants, I'm believing. With your open eyes, feel what James took us into. Recall that experience. It may be a little difficult, but don't mind. Just go through the difficulty. You can lower down your eyes a little if that helps. But feel that experience of the first session in the body right now with open eyes. Feel the power, feel the strength of that experience. Feel the depth and bring it out slowly as if like a fume is coming out, a fragrant fume, incense of that experience is coming out towards your outer body. In the waking life, in your hands, legs, all the body parts. In your atmosphere around you. As if a fragrance of that depth and strength is flowing out from your being. Small particles spreading everywhere. And filling you, first of all, with strength and nourishment. Then feel, again, recall what Subhashri was taking us through. Each organ acting perfectly without your interference. That abundance that we are living within. Grace that we are living within. Feel that strength in your body. And as if that depth is coming out from within and flooding your outer space and the surroundings. And with open eyes, try to go as deep as you can in your heart, like a rocket going deep inside your heart horizontally with your open eyes. And keep going deep. Keep going deep. and maybe touching something warm, as if a feeling of coming home. Your divine presence, no matter whatever name you may give it, you know that you have something inside, which is abundant. And now bring it out. Come with it. Don't leave it within. Like a fragrance, like a big gown, flowing gown that is coming outside from your deep within. To bring that purity, grace, abundance in the outer being. And if you're closing your eyes, don't close. Open again. You can lower down, but don't close. Bring that fragrance from within out. And feel that touch, strength of purity, abundance in your outer being, your hands, your lips, your face, your feet, below your feet, thighs, legs, waist, as if that inner experience is flooding your outer being. It's flooding your outer being. So this is how we can bring the psychic touch outside. We have to integrate it with our waking life. Not that it fades away when I open eyes. Yeah. So this is integral yoga. This is bringing out integration of the inner experience with the outer life. Everything is there in Mother Shri Aurobindo's words. And then how do we remain in touch with the roots above? So at times you may have felt that we feel like opening to above. Our attention goes above. Why? Because our self is above us. Self which is much vaster than us, who we think we are. So that's our true self. Like, I am this space and I think I am this body. This is the falsehood that we are carrying. I am all of this, but I am thinking that no, I am this, right? That's why we have to have the other experience, which is spiritualization. And where Sri Aurobindo has so many places, Sri Aurobindo says, go above your head, above your head. Stabilize there, think from there. So just take a moment. Just we are not really doing a practice here. I'm just giving you a taste of what we can do when we have time. We should do. So close your eyes for a second. Place your attention above your head and become aware of the vastness above, as if you're looking above. On every direction, there is a vastness, north, south, east, west, vastness. There is no end. So hold that vastness above, which is there, become aware of it, and hold your attention a little above your head in this vastness. Keep holding your attention here. And now slowly you open your eyes and see if you can still hold your attention there, being aware of that vast presence above you, which is your true self. It's like a bank account which we never knew we have before. So now we can draw from it. You can open your eyes a little, see if you can still hold the attention above your head. Now, this is what you have done is called ascent. We have ascended into our true self. The next part of the practice, in words of Sri Aurobindo, is descent. It doesn't have to be in a sequence, but right now we are just taking it like that. So we get above into our bank account, full of treasury, full of abundance of everything that we need. And you open your eyes a little, and then imagine, not imagine actually, this is not imagination, call the descent down in the body, as if all that vastness is pouring in the body. Let the vastness get in, like you pour a liquid from above. It's coming in the body. If you need, you can close your eyes for a while, then open it again. Letting the flow of the vastness to get into the body, flooding your brain, face, neck, and get in touch again above to the vastness. See if the flow is coming. Invoke it down in the body. And let the flow continue from neck and below. And from time to time, keep experimenting. How is it with a little bit of eyes open? Can you still invoke the descent? Let it flood your body and keep trickling down like rainwater. It keeps trickling down your hands, your chest, abdomen, slowly, slowly in your own way. Feel the trickle. And if you feel that the trickle is lacking, go again at the top and draw from your bank. Invoke another wave of a descent. And let it trickle down throughout your body. Thighs and knees, legs, calves, feet, and below. Don't close your eyes, you will sleep. A little bit open, you can keep your eyes. Feel the trickle in the body, trickle of that descent, the movement of the descent, nourishment from above. If you have closed your eyes for a moment, open them again and sustain the experience in the body. Okay, so that was just to give you a taste of what can be done, what we can do from our behalf to blossom, which is our dharma, which we have to do. So this is an effort that we need to do, because in laziness we can't do this. You know, in laziness what we can do is eat, sleep, make merry. That's very easy for us. It doesn't take much effort. It has become a habit. And Sri Aurobindo says that when we see the human life, peace has distorted into tamas. We see this with ourselves. The moment we become restful, we begin to doze off. This is what Sri Aurobindo refers to. Peace has gotten distorted to tamas. This is what we need to change to fully blossom. And Sri Aurobindo, in his synthesis of yoga, talks about something. Just so he gives this little paragraph in synthesis of yoga, which I want to read for our reference. He says, the supreme shastra of the integral yoga is the eternal Veda, secret in the heart of every thinking and living being. That is us, thinking and living being. The lotus of the eternal knowledge and the eternal perfection is a bud closed and folded up within us. How does it open? It opens swiftly or gradually, petal by petal, through successive realizations. Now, mark the word. How does it open? Successive realizations. What is a realization? When, see, what we do in our practices, we have experiences, right? All of us have various kinds of, some lights we can see, some visions we can see, some deep experience we can have, right? But it remains an experience until the point it doesn't become my life. So psychicization, what we were just touching upon, is right now an experience for me. It's not a realization. I'm not living from there. Most of us can't say that we are living from there. Animal man is a realization. For that, I don't have to do anything. It's effortless, right? Eat food, reproduce, sleep. It's all effortless. So it's a realization. Animality is a realization right now. Okay. How does my psychicization become a realization? When it becomes so important for me that I can't even spend one moment away if not from psychic, living from psychic. Then it becomes a realization, right? So just like that, he says, it opens swiftly. How does that lotus bud, which is within us, each one of us, folded up? How does it open? He says, it opens swiftly or gradually, petal by petal, through successive realizations. So these experiences that we were having, they have to become stable realizations. Like as if you can't get off from that floor anymore in your normal state. Of course, you have the possibility to get down, but you live from there. Once the mind of man begins to turn towards the eternal, right now, most of us, where are we turned? We are turned towards people in our life, relationships in our life. There comes a time in your life where when you close your eyes or when you have 5 minutes of a pocket of empty time, your mind doesn't go in any other direction. It runs to the mother. Now, all of us can ask us ourselves, where does my mind go? And habitually, it will go to people and relationships and everything, right? Habitually. This is the effort required of us once we are convinced that this world cannot give me anything. But you can give to the world. Of course, your presence, your offering. Huh? So once we become totally convinced that no, now I have 5 minutes of time, I don't want a scattered mind here and there. Turn it to the divine. Even if you are emotionally deprived, say, imagine that you don't have a friend, you want to talk to somebody, really, have an emotional conversation, a vital exchange. You imagine that you don't have that friend. Now, don't waste your time. Turn your pain to the divine. Turn your attention to the divine. Saying that, Mother, I know that because of habit, I go back to those people again and again. I don't want to continue. I want to turn exclusively to you. So in 5 minutes of pockets, so many millions of pockets we have throughout the day. The moment your mind begins to scatter again to the worldly attractions, turn it to the mother, turn it to the divine. This is how we exclusively slowly turn to the divine. So he continues, he says, once the mind, now when the successive realizations can come, once the mind of the man begins to turn towards the eternal. Once his heart, no longer compressed and confined by attachment to finite experiences, appearances. This is what we were talking. Once my heart is no longer compressed and confined by attachment to the worldly people and relationships and things, becomes enamored in whatever degree of the infinite, that there is something I need to attend, enamored to whatever degree he says, because in the beginning it cannot be a full turning, right? He also understands that. So he says, to whatever degree you become enamored, stay glued to the divine. So either we turn our attention deep within our cave of the heart, as much deep as we can go, and again with open eyes bring it forward, or in empty pockets we turn upward, rather than thinking about a friend or a pastime or a future occurrence or a present occurrence, we turn mind to the divine, to mother, and then bring her influence in the body. This is how the lotus bud is to open. Without our effort, we can't expect. So then he continues, he says, all life, all thought, all energizing of the faculties, all experiences, passive or active, become thenceforward, after this, after the first paragraph that we have discussed, after that he says, become thenceforward so many shocks which disintegrate the teguments of the soul. So as if knocking each petal and it's opening. Each experience is knocking each petal and it's opening. Like that. Then when we turn fully to the divine, then all life, all thought, all energizing of faculties, all experiences, passive or active, become thenceforward so many shocks which disintegrate the teguments. Uske upar jo thick covering hai, usko hataya ja raha hai. Which disintegrate the teguments of the soul and remove the obstacles to the inevitable efflorescence. Inevitable efflorescence. Now inevitable. So we can't jump to the third part. We have to put our effort. If we remain turned to things which we know are futile, expecting, attaching ourselves to them, then still expecting a blossoming is something which is, of course, which will happen in time, even if we don't want it. But it's something where we are not collaborating consciously. With human being, the only benefit is that he knows that he knows. Right? This is what makes us different from an animal. A dog is eating, I am also eating. I know I am eating. And I am aware of that, knowing that I am eating. If I don't make use of that consciousness, oh, I know I am having a thought which is not to be followed. I mean, what is the use of that consciousness if I'm not discarding that thought immediately and still acting through it? So this is the collaborative part that we need to give. He who chooses the infinite has been chosen by the infinite. We have heard this very, very powerful line so many times. He has received the divine touch, without which there is no awakening, no opening of the spirit. But once it is received, attainment is sure, whether conquered swiftly in the course of one human life or pursued patiently through many stadia of the cycle of existence in the manifested universe. So one lifetime or 1,000, we don't bother how much does it take to have the true realizations of our true self. No. The only thing is, have I made the effort, conscious effort? And I am telling you, it's, we may say on one part that integral yoga is simple. We can say, but actually it requires a lot of effort. I have seen myself drooping into tamas again and again, going back to my past tendencies again and again. So we need to put conscious effort. And we need to arise that wisdom in us that this fleeting world truly cannot give me anything. Mother has said it right when she says, never depend anything on anything but the divine, never lean back on anything but the divine, otherwise you fall on your nose and you hurt badly. This is something like that that mother says. Why does she say that? Because everything is changing. And why everything is changing? Have you wondered? Just like we are seeking to be full, each person around us is also seeking. They may not admit. So they will also turn to anything which right now seems to them the right way, right? And what happens to you then in the picture? You are left aside, because for that person now that seeking is important. So this is how shamelessly we need to go forward and allow others the space to go forward. We are not here to have stable relationships. We are not here to have children and families. We are here to do the work. Children, families happen by chance on the way. And of course, they also become a part of process of yoga. So nothing is excluded, but that comes as a secondary part. Because you realize that you can give the best in your life when you are within, bringing out your best out from within. So this is our primary, I feel that this is our primary social responsibility, to have these realizations in ourselves. Because without that, what can I give my children, my neighbors? What can I give? And what does a flower do? If a flower is there in the room, it doesn't have to do anything, no? It just, because of its presence, people are smiling, they are feeling good, they are enjoying the fragrance, like that. So if we are flowering and we just notice the process of flowering, in Sri Aurobindo's words, imagine each human being becoming its own efflorescence. What is there else to do? Yes, please take the mic. Thank you. A little closer. Is it on? Is it on? Suresh? Yeah, now it's on. Yes.
Now it's on.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I sometimes wish I would be somewhere all alone in the forest, living like a hermit, concerned with my spiritual development, with the bringing out, with the blossoming of the soul. But we are living in the world, and we are not isolated beings. We are connected with the world. And in the measure of our empathy, we are affected by what's going on in the world. I personally, I am affected very much by what's going on in the wars.
Yeah.
Near East and Russia, I mean, and Trump, and all this is terrible, no? It disturbs me.
Yeah.
Now, actually, when I started the yoga, my mentor, Medananda, he told me, that was in 1972, don't read the newspaper. And I followed him. I followed him when my brother living in New York came in 1976 to visit me. He asked me about what I think about the emergency. Now, I had no idea about the emergency because I followed the strict command of my mentor Medananda, don't read newspaper. So I never read newspaper unless 1989, when I was sitting in the library and I saw the front cover of the Newsweek and the massacre of Tiananmen Square in China. And then I grasped the magazine and I read it and I said, my God, such things are happening. And I am just, I don't know anything. I am part of the world. And then I've subscribed Newsweek. And I mean, from that time on, I'm affected by what's going on in the world. Now, you see, what you are saying, it's very difficult to you see, the attachment, actually, I feel I'm not attached to people and I don't really carry what's going on in my personal life, but I'm very much concerned what's going on in the world.
Yeah.
So how to keep the psychic consciousness when you are confronted with the misery of the world,
Yeah.
with the misery of the famine in Gaza.
Yeah.
What's going on in Gaza? I mean, it just hits me. It just pains me. And then my inner contact is in trouble. I don't have it.
Yeah.
The only thing I can do is praying.
Exactly. Just
Praying
hold
Mother.
yourself.
Pray,
Yeah.
help the world. Not even praying me, but help. I mean, I'm concerned about the world, about the misery of the world. And there's more and more misery in the world. And I mean, it pains me. And my pain is so strong.
Yeah.
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 So what you are saying, it's very true.
Yeah.
You are like a cup of champagne. Yeah. I mean, it's just, but how to live like
Yes,
this?
yes. Let's talk about this. So what you shared, I'm sure everybody here resonates with. We are all feeling the pain of what world is going through right now. But ask yourself, are you able to do anything? Right? Yes, yes. Now, exactly. And that's because somewhere in your consciousness, you have expanded this much that you can feel that pain as your pain, right? Not everyone will be able to feel that pain as this much as you are feeling. Okay. But you have also to recognize that you can't suffer along with, because if you suffer along with, you are of no use, right? Yes, exactly. Now, how to be helpful? How to be helpful?
Cut myself off.
No.
I know not to cut myself off. But
You said it yourself.
I mean,
you just said it. Yes. How to help? No, you answered it just a few sentences before. You said, what can I do? Pray, right?
Yes, pray.
Now this is an aspect of our life which I want to draw attention, thanks to Agnidan. Have you seen that we take prayer as the last resort? Have you seen? Why is that so? How do you know prayer doesn't help? How do you know? How do you know? How do you know? Now, just hold yourself there.
Aurobindo said darkness will overwhelm before the supermind can manifest.
Right, and that's happening.
Well, don't see the Superman acting in the world problem.
So this is what happens. This is why your guru must have said, don't read news. You see, now what's happening because of reading news too much is you are not even able to stabilize your own psychicization. That's what you just said, right? So now what happens is, if a flower, for example, is too delicate, huh? What happens? We put a fence around it in the beginning. In the beginning, if that flower is just too enthusiastic and feeling everything around it, and it says, no, I want to take care of this, it will be trampled upon. We are sure about that. So this is, as that's what I am saying, that this is our social responsibility to make our realization so stabilized that they become like a tree. And then your prayer, do you think that your prayer has no effect? How sure can you be? And why are you so sure? That's why your prayer can see the very fact that you feel united with others pain is the fact that your prayer can be so strong. Can't you see that? Use this as a strength, not make it your weakness. See, if I am a person, I read news for gossip, and those pains don't touch me, I can't even pray. But I can pray when my consciousness is so expanded that I feel that pain in Gaza as my own pain. Then your prayer can be effective. So you are in the absolute conducive right stage for your prayer to be effective. Now don't make it a weakness by giving it to the other side, that what can I do? I'm living in this world. Of course, that's why we opened our eyes and brought the influence from inside to outside, because we are living in this world. So at this point, just stop. Whatever you shared, no? Just use this empathy that you have, pain that you feel in your heart, and pray that those human beings who are suffering, of course, they are your brothers, sisters, they are your own body, as if your own body is suffering, right? And fill it with light, strength, and peace, which is yet to come, has not manifested yet, at least not in appearance. See, you can't even do that. So, yeah, see, now you are facing the challenge of the situation. Okay, there it's a razor sharp edge that we are walking on. The people who have worked in palliative care and prison work, they say that there is a razor sharp edge we are walking on. The moment you begin to feel so much suffering, you become helpless. You actually can't even pray. That's what she is saying, right? So you have to get back again on the edge, bring yourself up from the fall, get bent again on the edge, and keep walking on that razor sharp edge, feeling the pain of others, and being in such a situation that your roots are plunged in the divine. Now, it is difficult, but if you can't do it, I don't know who can do it. I know you. So you are the mother. Mother is thumb-like portion in us. So that's why it is so important. Now, this is a point which is very, very important. Because if I give in to the suffering of others so badly that I become helpless, what do I do? I am also now part of that drop of poison. This is what we have to save ourselves from. Mother says we have to be torches of light. How can I be torch of light when I am myself overwhelmed with the darkness? And always remember in the process that whatever we see on appearance is just the appearance. There is a larger plan of which we are not aware. We will never be aware. Have that trust and faith in the divine. See, you are going like a hamster goes in the wheel. Yeah, you don't have to. Suffering is real. Okay. See, but we have to come to the point. Now we have talked enough about the suffering. We can go on, and you can read your next newspaper about that. No problem. How can you help? By talking about suffering, you are not helping. I'm telling you one experience that I have. There was one neighbor house to our house where every night I would hear a lot of noise, people shouting on each other, children shouting on the father and mother, and father and mother shouting on the children. It brought me immense pain. And I can totally empathize where you are coming from. Huh? What did I do? I felt the pain. And with that pain, I realized the suffering of those people that I felt in my body. I turned to the mother with this pain. And I wished for all those people, not only in my mind. I saw all those people in front of me as if standing physically. They are happy, their bodies are happy, light is beaming out of their bodies, and they are cheerful and progressive. Now, I don't know what contribution that made, that little prayer. I don't know. But one thing I know, that I made the best use I could without interfering in their private lives, the best use I could of their pain that I felt in my body. So always look towards the light. Life is suffering. You don't have to, people have written books about it. It's not the first time something like that is happening. World wars have happened before this. So there is a larger plan. Now, how that larger plan is manifested, we don't know. For that, there is a lot of chaos and disintegration happens before a new ground comes. You know that, right? So pain will be there. A new birth happens. I have given 2 children out of this tummy. You can't help it. Pain is there. New birth, before new birth, pain is there. Right? So have faith. This is why all the elements of integral yoga are necessary, not only suffering. Right? So the moment I encounter that much of empathy, save yourself, otherwise you will also be useless. Save yourself and don't repeat the suffering story, because mother says suffering is an illusion. Now at times we can't see that, because for us it is reality. Why? Because we are reading news too much. That's why that Swami of yours must have said that, because we are still a fenced plant, we are not a tree. When I become a tree, I can allow an elephant beneath me, not before that. So don't allow the elephant to trample over you. All this bombardment of news is like an elephant. What are you able to do after all this, news that you know of? You can't do. In fact, you become more incapable. Your positivity and whatever was there, even few many drops, they all are also gone, sucked in. So be aware. You have to fence yourself and grow strong in your roots. And we know now where our roots are. Don't get disconnected from that root. Otherwise, this will happen. And then you can, whatever little change, and you have no idea how much your prayers can help. We have no idea that we are all sitting in this room, healthy relatively, happy relatively. Who all are praying for us? You have no idea. How many bodhisattvas and buddhas and monks and nuns are praying for the well-being of the whole world? We have no idea. So don't mistrust the power of prayer. That's the best we can do. Actually, in mother's times also, she stopped other people to go to visit their relatives, family members, right? She said the best you can do is pray. And pray with the full body, that you feel the strength of their body and health in your body. Do that. And if you can't do that, you're saying, if you can't do that, I wonder who can do that, because I know who you are. you know no, 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 no. Now this is an excuse you are excuse you are giving to go around the hamster wheel. Come on. We can do it. We can do it. We can pray. All of us can pray, and prayer is our power. Human beings can pray very well. So let's make that our power rather than, succumbing to suffering, which is there, and be ready to die every moment. Yeah, be ready to die every moment, and yet not yearn for death. Mother says, no? Yeah. Okay. Sorry to have extended 5 minutes, but this was important. I think very important what you brought forward. And there is actually a book by Roshi Joan Halifax, which is about this standing on the edge. This is where she talks about how there is a razor edge that we are walking on when we are surrounded by so much of suffering. And if you are into this field of compassionate care, how you have to take care that you don't fall over the edge, otherwise you become as useless as the other person. So it's a very sharp edge that we have to walk on, and yet keep the empathy alive. Yes. So I can understand the confusion also. It's called Standing on the Edge by Roshi Joan Halifax. Joan. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Joan, Roshi, Roshi, Roshi Joan Halifax, Halllifax. It's a thick book, and it talks about her experiences of being in this field of compassionate care and how to maintain a balance. All right. So, okay. Anything to share at the end? Anyone? Okay, I see one comment. Yes. Yes. Thank you, Belinda, for your comment. Sumiti.
Monica, I'm all smiling with the manifestation which you did, and I'm sending you all the love. And
We are receiving it here.
And I'm feeling that collaborating consciously, which you just demonstrated. It's beautiful.
Thank
Beautiful.
you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes. 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 Absolutely. So important. And even if someone is suffering in my own family, if I myself become too much overwhelmed by that, I am no good of a help to that person. I remember when my father-in-law was passing, almost just on his deathbed, I asked him, Papa, are you ready to go? Because thankfully I had that detachment, although I knew he was suffering, but I knew that it's good for him now to carry forward. So I think a little bit of that balance we really need to have if we want to be fruitful and helpful to people around. Otherwise we become ourselves so helpless. So let's take a moment of silence. Yeah. Yes, yes. Can you pass on the mic, Suresh?
Can do when we feel helpless.
Yeah.
And for the whole world, one thing I stopped reading this newspaper because I felt that I'm so engrossed. Then I only said the faith and trust has to be there. Never question that. You said that supramental sign, what is happening? This is the main thing is that what is happening we don't know.
Yeah,
Number
yeah,
one.
yeah.
Only prayers is our in hand, mother, and she is doing the good. We don't know. Number one. Number two, I want to share my personal experience. My sister-in-law, she was suffering from cancer for 2-3 years. I talked to you also. And then a stage came when I was only doing praying and nothing else. And in the last day, what happened when I saw, and I said, I prayed to mother, mother, aapki karuna inke upar ho, aapki karuna inke upar ho. And she wanted to have a long life, but then she said, man ke hare haar hai, man ke jeete jeet. And she was prepared to go.
Wow.
And I saw mother standing behind her bed. And I left that place. I heard from in my inside that you leave this place because you have to save yourself. And I left that. I came here, and after I came here, I left that place on 8th and she left past
Peacefully, yeah.
so peaceful that on 6th, after 8 days. So this is the power of the prayer.
Yeah.
When you sincerely want that whatever will happen will be
Yes,
for good.
absolutely, absolutely.
Not only for your relatives, your person, for the whole world.
And we have,
And you were talking about mental health when we counsel patients. Then
yes,
we do this thing, but we pray that Mother, I am not doing this. You do.
yeah,
You give her light.
yes, absolutely.
That's all.
Thank you so much. Yes, and we have now scientific documented evidences of people who have gone out of their bodies through some surgery maybe that is being performed on them, and they were able to see the thoughts of people they were there in the operation or maybe beyond. So, and the person that who went out of the body, he said, yes, I saw you praying. Imagine, the prayer is happening in the heart, and the person who has gone out of the body in his true consciousness, he is aware of that prayer. So this is the power, and unfortunately we have such limited vision. So don't believe your vision truly, and know that there is so much beyond that we can't see and feel. Trust your power of prayer. Dying to be me, yeah. Yes. Anita Murjani's Dying to be Me. Yeah, that was my savior, that book. Yes, yes. Please give him the mic.
I always touch with James and trying to find out and come here. And 8 days back, my mother fell ill. Right? She had a dengue and she can't walk. Ace factor, and she was in acute pain. And so all the doctors, you go to this best hospital, this hospital, and all the stuff. She was not coming back, and I asked her, Mother, do you have a love for the life? She said, yes. I know I'll be get out of it. Then I asked her, how do you want to get out of it? She said, can you take me to my puja room?
Oh.
Very acute pain. She's going through this. I said, no, I can't. And 6 minutes, 5-6 minutes, I saw her in the puja room lighting the lamp in front of Ma Durga. She prays to her, and Mai pukarat der bhayo, ab kahe bilamb kijo. And I sat next to her, and I was just the prayer for her. Next day, she's back to her normal.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. Right? So that's the power of the prayer.
Yes, yes.
And sometimes we do the prayer for ourselves, and sometimes the others have to offer.
Yes.
And that happened the next day for me. So I was thinking that I'll not be able to come here. My father had an acute pain in his stomach. After that, and I just sat, because that experience I have, without telling anyone, meditated for 15 minutes for his healing. And he said, you can go. I'm absolutely fine. Yes, of course, the medicines and all of that is there. But he said, I said, how do you, I don't know, yeah, I'm feeling like I'm top of the world at the moment. Right? The power of the prayer is very good. But as you rightly, Monica ji said, if you become transparent to that pain or the suffering, you will not be able to do the prayers. That's called the transference. So somebody suffering, he's transferring that to you, but are you getting the counter transference to this? That's the psychological terms that we use, right? So previously, I think we in this world we need to be detached and attached. You know, I'm attached to the prayers and detached from the sufferings.
Beautiful. Yeah, beautiful. Thank you. Okay, so we'll remember that we have a power of empathy and prayer that we will use in our life. Yeah, okay. So thank you so much, and we can all now maybe break for lunch. And 2:30 we have our next session. 2:30? Okay. Thank you.